Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there, especially to my mom, Stephanie Jackson. Love you much. Happy Mother's Day. Um, Great fights last night, all last night. Shout out to Fox, ESPN, Burchell, and Vargas. I heard that was a solid fight while it lasted. I think Vargas's corner stopped it, but J Rock got it done, man. I'm pretty sure I'm the only one that picked him, at least one that I know of, that picked J Rock to beat Hurd. I think most people were leaning with Hurd, you know. And I certainly had thought, Hurd would definitely have a chance. And it was definitely a fun fight. No doubt about it. It was a fun fight. I don't think it was that competitive from what the judges had it. I thought J Rock won 9 rounds pretty solid. I mean, it's still a competitive fight, but I think J Rock was a clear winner. Had they given it to her, that would have been a clear robbery, in my opinion. And I don't like throwing that term out a lot, but I thought J Rock was clearly the better fighter. Even Jared Hurd said, I lost to the better guy. And I prefer it when fighters, when they keep it a buck and they're, in a fight like that. Jared Hurd was game. He was tough. Typical Jared Hurd. Got mad heart, but he do got to fix some things, and not just with his fight game, but maybe his corner. Something was going on with his tape for like 2, 3 rounds. The tape was messed up. Plus, I mean that happens, but eventually you got to cut it or fix something because something was going on for like I think the late middle rounds. There was an issue with his tape, and then they put too much Vaseline on his face. Actually, my mom pointed it out yesterday. I think this cut man put too much Vaseline on his face, and it got in his eye, and then he couldn't see, and then J Rock started to pile it on Jared Hurd, so he's trying to wipe Vaseline on his face while he got a dude trying to take his head off. So that whole instance was caused by his corner. He lost that round because of his corner. The fact that he had too much Vaseline on his face. So plus they were thinking about stopping the fight. I think the 11th round in his backyard. I mean, he got hurt, a couple of times in the fight. He actually got dropped in the second round, but he didn't look bad enough for them to stop a fight. Plus, he's a champion in his backyard. You don't want a corner stoppage that way, bro. Like that's, especially with Jared Hurd, as he's a tough guy. Like, come on, bro, don't do that to him. Not in front of his peoples. But damn, the fight was more one sided than I thought it would be. But J Rock, wow, him, masterful game plan by his trainer Stephen Breadman. Um, they really looked in sync, between trainer and fighter. It almost reminded me of like Ward and I'm not saying he's good as Ward, so relax. But I'm saying the chemistry between fighter and trainer, it was really there. So that was cool. Excellent game plan, excellent execution. J Rock, he boxed when he needed to box, but he fought Hurd when he needed to fight. He actually outfought Jared Hurd. He outboxed him, but he also outfought him, and it was a really just X performance, man. Nothing else I could say. His uppercuts were beautiful. Left hook, right hook. He jabbed really good. I thought he would go to the body a little bit more, but either way, he got the job done. Landed some good hooks upstairs, hooks to the body. Nice couple spin moves in there. Defense was on point. He was catching and blocking shots out the ropes, and it was really just really good boxing, man, from J Rock. I was really impressed with his boxing ability, man. The ring IQ was on point. Um, I knew he could beat Jared Hurd, but I didn't know he would really just do that to him. It was really just a phenomenal performance. Um, and it just goes to show the O is not that important, really, because as long as you have your head on straight, you got a right, good trainer, good mindset, you can bounce back. I thought J Rock was doing good against Charlo when they fought. I mean, I thought he fought in the pocket a little bit too long, especially that early in the fight, but I don't think he did bad against Jamal Charlo. I thought his draw with Hugo Centeno years ago was BS. I thought he clearly beat him. Um, But J Rock's a problem, you know. It's funny. They desperately tried to make Hurd versus Jamel Charlo, and both dudes ended up losing. So, you know, it also shows just how special Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather were when they were trying to build that fight, you know, for 4 or 5 years. You know, it's hard to stay on the top as long as you can, especially when you fight, you know, top opposition. And that I do give Jared Hurd credit for. You know, he fought Tony Harrison, who's now a champ, fought Austin Trout, former champ, who's fought the who's who in the division, fought everybody. Fought Landy Lara, who's the boogeyman and the longest reigning champ, the lineal champ. You know, he fought Wellborn, you know, English dude, but and then he fought J Rock, and that's a tough schedule. You know, he fought a lot of top dudes in the 54 division. It's a stacked weight class. You got J Rock, Charlo, Harrison, Hurd. I think Hurd should probably move up. Um, I mean, he could do a rematch, but I don't think that fight warranted a rematch. Had it been a little bit closer, you can make an argument for it. I mean, it's a fun fight, but I don't see where. I don't think Jared Hurd would do better in a rematch. I think he would probably get beat worse. In fact, he might even get stopped in a rematch. Had J Rock went to the body a little bit more. I thought J Rock hurt him at least 4 or 5 times. Dropped him in the second round. Um, I don't think a rematch would help Jared Hurd. And I think J Rock had enough separation in this first fight for, you know, doesn't really warrant it. I mean, it was a fun fight for sure. Fox did, you know, Fox has had a lot of really good fights, you know. It reminded me a little bit of Caleb Plant versus Uzgadagi early in the year. I think that fight was like in January. So, um, Fox's commentary is the commentary in boxing has gotten so like worse. I mean, Fox is. I mean, I like Lennox Lewis, but I like Joe Goosen as a trainer, but he's a solid trainer. But as a commentator, him and the other dude were trying to like force the narrative that Hurd was, you know, coming back and stuff. Like where, like he was getting outfought and outboxed. Like he's getting beat in his own game. I mean, you know, it showed me flashes of like Ward versus Allen Green. Like it was just he outdogged the dog. He bullied the weight bully. You know, I don't see how Hurd was able to make a comeback because you know J Rock was able to weather Hurd's storm. You know, he blocked and caught all the punches. Hurd's technique got worse throughout the fight. He never was in a rhythm. He was never in a groove. You know, typically with Jared Hurd in the second half, he gets in a bit of a groove and he gets some momentum going. But he got it in spots in the middle rounds, but never consistently enough throughout the fight. Um, you know, I think he might have underestimated J Rock a little bit. You know, looking ahead to face Jermel, or I don't think he really wanted to fight Tony Harrison. Not from what the vibe I was getting from Jared Hurd, but he definitely wanted the Charlo smoke. But I think he might have underestimated J Rock a little bit. I think a lot of people underestimated J Rock. You know, I think people forgot how good J Rock really is. You know, but you can't put too much stock in a one loss. You know, Sean Porter had one loss, and he became or two losses, and he's a two-time champ. You know, Canelo took a loss, and he's one of the top 10 fighters in the world now. You know, Lomachenko, he lost to Salido. Look where he's at now. He's one of the best fighters out there. You know, Pacquiao got knocked out twice in his career. Went on to win, you know, through 8 weight classes. You know, Terry Norris got knocked out early in his career. He became a champ. You know, one of the longest reigning champs in that division. So, you know, it's like what my parents always told me. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. You know, so proud of J Rock. You know, he's come a long way. You know, a lot of people was really doubting him. I don't think they really gave him a, you know, they really, it feels like Tony Harrison and J Rock both kind of had the same story. It's like people forgot how good they are. You know, Tony Harrison, he lost to Willie Nelson, but he was outboxing him the whole fight. And then he got caught. You know, he got caught by a veteran with power who's big, like Willie Nelson, good amateur background. You know, same thing when he fought Jared Hurd. Well, Jared Hurd, I don't think he has a deep amateur background, but you know, he's a big dude. He's tough, strong, athletic, and he gassed out. But you know, he did good in the Charlo fight. Beat Ishe Smith pretty good. You know, I think people forgot how good Tony Harrison and J Rock. It's actually a pretty stacked division. So, all top heavy, but the talent pool is Like the guys are really close. They all kind of mirror each other. You know, Harrison, Charlo, J Rock, Lara, Erickson, Lubin. They can all box. They're all good athletes. All have decent speed and power. So 154 is an interesting division. Of course, you got your Jared Hurds, your Munguias, who I think are both moving up. Munguia really needs to think about switching up his team. He's heard he did not do very good in his last fight versus Dennis Hogan. Heard that was a complete robbery. I haven't watched the fight fully, so I'll have to watch it to give my full take on that. But I heard he did not do good in that one. And who else? Brian Carlos Castano. He's pretty solid. Argentine fighter. Fought Lara pretty tough. Thought Lara beat him, but it was definitely close. Wouldn't mind seeing that rematch. But J Rock's the WBA IBF champ now, so or Super WBA champ. So maybe he might fight Castano next, or I mean, he could fight Hurd again if Hurd wants the rematch. I heard there was a rematch clause, but like I said, I don't think that fight was close enough to really warrant. It was fun. It was a fun fight, but I don't think the fight itself was close enough to really warrant a rematch. But hey, you never know. You know, I mean, that's his prerogative. But 154 is pretty lit. Shout out to J Rock. Shout out to Philly. Excellent performance. Sky's the limit. Hopefully he'll unify with Tony Harrison or the Jamel Charlo winner, which is June 23rd. And I think that's on a Sunday. So that's pretty cool too. Boxing on a Sunday. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know how you think J Rock does against the other top 154 pounders. Do you think Hurd and J Rock should rematch, or do you think Hurd should just move up, cut his losses and move up to 160, see how he does up there? But yeah, let me know what you think about J Rock's performance. Like, subscribe, and take it easy, guys. Happy Mother's Day once again.